So you maybe had points in your life where you've been looking at the news and you're wondering, why didn't these people do something? If they realized there was an emergency, why didn't they act? Well, the reason being, there's a strange, curious thing about human behavior where you may notice, for example, we're so used to having the fire alarm go off and doing drills, we're sort of desensitized to the idea of it. Now, the first time you hear the fire alarm, some level of you thinks potentially there could be a fire. So what you do is you look to the others to see how they react. The strange thing about that is if the others don't react, then you're going to not assume that it's an emergency. Instead of actually inquiring yourself, you're using the social stimulus and surroundings around you to decide whether it's relevant for you. And let's say you're in trouble on the street and maybe you're in pain or having a heart attack or something's wrong, but people aren't reacting or helping you. There's actually an example in a book, Influencer Psychology of Persuasion, where it talked about where a lady was chased for 30 blocks, over 30 blocks, while a man stabbed her. And it's horrible that no one actually came to her aid. And it's what I said prior, the big part of that is people don't know that it's an emergency. They're desensitized to a certain stimulus of, say, people screaming or asking for help. But the other thing you need to do in those moments is actually assign responsibility to someone. So let's say someone's attacking you on the street. People don't necessarily want to jump in because they don't know the circumstance and they don't want to get hurt themselves. But if you assign responsibility to them and say, hey, you there in the blue shirt, can you please help me? I need help. One, it makes it clear that it's an emergency. Two, it assigns responsibility to them, so now they have to make a moral choice. And the other thing, if someone is, say, attacking you, or you're a young woman walking home at night and a guy's trying to rape you, it's a horrible thing to say, but instead of screaming rape or for help, call out fire. Then that way you don't have the implication of danger for the person that comes to your aid. They're going to assume that obviously it's something that needs help with and they feel more confident that they can help. Once they get there and deduce the situation something else, then there's that personal responsibility tied in with it. So just some ideas on how you can utilize psychology to make sure you're safe and don't get in those situations like the news.